Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Now today I just wanted to do a quick comparison video. I've already done a review of this Doxa. Soon will have to be its big brother, the 300T. That's the one I'm most excited about. But I wanted to do other watches at a similar price point. So these are all round about around about the £1,400 mark roughly. All are available at Francis and Gay of Coventry. I've got this on loan from them, to be fair. So as I say, if you check their website out, they do some really good deals if you contact them. Let's just zoom in there. So anyway, here we have three similar priced but kind of different watches. I say these are all round about the £1,400 mark, I think, are roughly. Now, obviously, we have over here the Doxa 600T with its rather cool, funky coloured dial. In the middle here, we have the Oris 65 Diver. Now, admittedly, this is a Generation 1, and the newer you can't get this one anymore. It does have around hour markers on there, but it is the same watch. Here, we have my SInn 104. Now, these watches are actually all powered by the same movement. All of these watches have a Sellita SW201 movement in there. So it is quite interesting to see what manufacturers do at the same price point with the same movement in these different watches. So it is actually quite interesting to see how they can vary. Now, as we all know, out of this bunch here, the hardcore diver watch is or has to be this Doxa. It's Doxa's specialty, to be fair. And this one, even though it's a 40mm, all of these are 40mm apart from this SInn, which is 41mm. This is the deepest diver. This is the 600-meter diver. Now, the SInn 104, on the other hand, isn't any slouch. It's a 200-meter diver. And then we have the Oris 65, which is a 100-meter diver. So they all come with very legible dials, very easy to read. All of them have the date. The SInn does have a day-date complication on there. Now, they all have nice ceramic crystals on all three of these. But I would have to give the hats off, I think, to the crystal of the Oris. I just think it's a stunner with that box section crystal there. I think that is a really nice. But again, it's not to everyone's taste. My other half, actually, she doesn't like the way it distorts, but some people like the distortion. Now, when it comes to lume, all of these watches, I would say, are equal on lume. They are all very, very good. Each watch has a screw down crown. All come on the bracelet. If I had to say which had the best bracelet, I think it would have to be the SInn, personally, but that's just my take on it. And a lot of people would just say, well, you're biased, because I do like SInn. Really? But anyway, I'll give you a quick bezel action movement. Super. Very light, but nice. This is somewhere actually in between, I would say. I would say that the bezel on the Doxa is somewhere in between the two. Now, the Doxa has the advantage here that it's the only one with a ceramic bezel. The other two are aluminium. So the Doxa will have the long life, fresh looking bezel out of all these, as this is an aluminium bezel and that is an aluminium bezel. So in fairness, the Doxa wins that one as well, not only being the deepest diver, but does have the coolest bezel insert of the bunch. Now, when it comes to the case finishing, the SInn is a standard. This is a standard case I use in a lot of them. It's polished, very nice. The Doxa has this rather unusual style, which I actually do quite like. I love the brushwork it has going on here, and I also like the way the end links go in, and the crown, I think, is a real joy on the Doxa. The Oris65 Diver has got an elegant, slim case. Very well finished, and I think it's just very tasteful. But this is a vintage inspired watch, so it is what it is. Clasp wise, now the Doxa is a pressed clasp, quite simple, but it's one of these where you could change this if you want. And remember, this watch is also available with a rubber strap. So it's one of those. You'll get in the 600-meter dive. That's where your money's going on this one, is the real kind of diving credentials of this watch. Now, the Rs65, being that it's a vintage-inspired watch, it's got this very cool faux kind of rivet style. It's not actually riveted, it's just there for looks, and it does taper dramatically, and it's got the smallest clasp out of all watches I think I own. Now, it hasn't got a dive link extension, which the Doxa does come with, but it has got a really nice clasp there. So, but it won't be for everyone's taste. The SInn, on the other hand, has its kind of love it or hate it, it's pressed steel milled centered clasp. Now, it does have, I would say, quite a nice dive link extension there, and so there you go there. But it is horses for courses. Now, I would say these three watches, even though they're a similar price and the same movement, for me, if you're the hardcore diver, then you know this is the watch. Can't argue. I think this is, it's no ifs or buts. This is the divers, hardcore diver watch. If you want the halfway house, so a watch which is sporty but also looks kind of classy on the wrist, I would say you'd have to go for the SInn 104. And the Oris65, I would say it's a peculiar watch, really, because it's one of these where it has got that kind of vintage style look. So this is I would say this is more I don't want to say fashionable, but this is kind of a watch which just looks good on the wrist all the time. This has got that cool vintage look, very classy looking watch. So it's more of a dressier watch, even though it's a dive watch, out of these three, I would say, personally. So, that's just my take. I just wanted to show you these three watches while I've got them all together here. Let me know in the comments below what kind of way you would swing when it comes to these watches. Which one would you go for? Okay, all the best. I'll see you at the next watch review, and stay safe out there, guys. Bye.